One of the best ways you can improve your efficiency in Photoshop is by using keyboard shortcuts. However, not everything you do may have a shortcut. In fact, I say that there's a tape shift drivers and automatic drivers. If you prefer using the menu, you are an automatic driver. If you prefer using keyboard shortcuts, then you are a stick shift driver, and I can beat any automatic driver out of the gate because shortcut ultimately will make you faster. Let's take a look at how we can customize Photoshop shortcuts and also see a list of all shortcuts built into Photoshop. If you don't know a way to something faster and you like a reference, Photoshop has that built in for you. Under the Edit menu, at the very bottom is Keyboard Shortcuts. When you choose Edit Keyboard Shortcuts on the right, you could hit Summarize to exported HTML version of all the shortcuts that exist in Photoshop. I will click Summarize once, and I will save it to my desktop, and when you hit Save, Photoshop will launch your default web browser and open up that shortcut list. So let's search this list for a common shortcut. And maybe I don't remember it all the time, so I constantly have to go look it up. I can do Edit, Find, and when I do find, I will type in leading. And here you see top to top leading, bottom of the bottom leading. I will keep searching and see if there are any more. So that shortcut isn't in the list. Let's look for another image size. There we are. Image size of the Mac is Command-Option-I. In Windows, it would say Control-Alt-I. So check this out for your most frequently used features to see if it provides a list. I will close my browser window and come back to Photoshop. There are a few tools and a few features that don't have shortcuts, or a shortcut that I used to use years ago that was stolen for brand new tool. So I am going to show you how to reassign them. Here you have the Photoshop factory settings or out-of-the-box default. Over on the right, I can create a new stats starting with the default and customized for me. I will click that button and I will name this Kelly, and it saves it as a keyboard shortcut file. You don't want to change the location where it's saving. It defaults to the proper place. When I hit save, one of the shortcuts I like to steal back and is the blur shortcut. So if I click on Application Menus, I can go to Tools, and in Tools, these occur in the order that they appear in the toolbar. I will scroll down and I am looking for the Blur tool. There we go. When I locate the Blur tool, I click once, and years ago it was a letter R for blur, and that's how I remembered it. In CS4, they added Rotate View command. I like that tool, but rarely use the shortcut to jump to it. Blur is something I do daily to soften pores or smooth out details, so I am going to accept the new R for Blur tool and go to the conflict, and if I'd like to give Rotate View tool a new shortcut, I can't. But typically I will just hold down the hand tool and slide to Rotate View when I need to use it. The next thing I am going to assign is something that you couldn't do a thing until Photoshop CS5. Again, on the tools, I am going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And you can make a keyboard shortcut for the foreground color picker or the background color picker. So one letter will bring up the color picker dialog. Now when you assigned this, you should choose a letter that isn't reserved for anything else. So if I try to do C for color, C is already used for crop, and I use that almost daily, so I wouldn't want to steal that. I could try K, and it looks like K isn't taken for anything. K to pick. If I remember, picker will work. So now I hit OK. And let's say I wanted to do a border along the bottom of this. I could make a marquee selection. I could do Layer, New Layer, and name it Border. And finally, I can hit the letter K for the color picker, and I could choose a color for that bottom border. Click OK, and choose Edit Fill with foreground color, and hit OK again. I could have also used to Shortcut. You will notice most of the shortcuts are shown to you directly in the menu. Not all are there, so if there is a filter that you use on a regular basis that you would like to assign a keyboard shortcut tool, or if there is a tool that used to use a shortcut you would like to bring back, go into Edit, Keyboard Shortcuts, and Assign Away. Just be cautious to not remove daily common shortcuts in case you share machines with someone. So now, on your own, jump in to Keyboard Shortcuts dialog, assign quick keys to panels, tools, or menu items that you use most.